Most couples think intimacy means sex or date night. But here's what nobody tells you: you can have sex without intimacy, and you can have romance without connection. You can sleep in the same bed and feel miles apart. And some of you, my friends, some of you are in marriage but emotionally single. You talk all day but never really communicate. You're together but you feel alone. And that's why your marriage feels empty. But because the foundation of marriage isn't physical connection, it is also emotional connection. And this is the C pillar in the grace framework. GRACE. We ever been to G, God first, R, renew yourself, A, agree to honor the covenant of marriage, and now C, it is about connecting emotionally, relationally, and intimately in your marriage. Because without it, your marriage will always feel distant, lonely, and fragile. And welcome, my friend. My name is Dorian, and this is Not Easily Broken. And today we are going to show you why emotional connection is the lifeline of your marriage and exactly how to rebuild it, even if it feels like it is dying right now. So let's have this conversation. Here is the truth nobody wants to admit: you can't have a strong marriage without emotional connection. You cannot have spiritual unity without emotional openness. And you can't have lasting intimacy without emotional safety. I'm going to take my time with this one because this is serious. And and listen well. Emotional connection is the glue that holds marriage together. It's what turns two individuals into one unified team. And without it, everything else becomes hard. Communication becomes stressful, sex becomes mechanical, and it shouldn't. And conversation feels hollow, it feels shallow, it feels surface level. Arguments repeat over and over again. Small, mundane things become a mountain. Yes, it becomes big issues. Why? Because emotional disconnection creates relational drought. And when the heart is dry, the marriage dies. Joan and I learned this the hard way, you know, in our marriage, the early stage of our marriage. And I'm going way back 28 years ago. We've been married for 31 years, and I remember moments when it felt like that. There were seasons where we were physically present but emotionally absent. We talk about bills, the kids' schedule, but never about each other. And slowly, oh yes, slowly we started feeling like roommates instead of being synchronized together, instead of becoming soulmate, bonding and fusing and creating great sexual intimacy. It was all just mundane thing, just going on again, off again. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And guess what? Today I'm going to show you how to fix that. Because we did fix it, and you can too. Now, most couples don't drift apart because of one big moment. They drift because of small disconnection over time, unspoken feelings, unresolved hurt, unmet needs, unshared dreams, and unacknowledged pain, unexpressed expression or affection. Talk to me. Connection doesn't disappear overnight. It fades quietly, consistently, and silently until one day you wake up and say, I don't know who you are. I don't know who I am married to anymore. We talk, we pay the bills, but we don't connect. We are surviving, but we're not thriving. And here's what make it worse. Most couples don't realize they are disconnected until the damage is way too deep. You ever hear this say, in too deep? I mean, you are so deep in that mess, you don't even know how to get out of it. You're stuck for a long time. They think everything is fine because there's no major conflict. But emotional distance is a silent killer. It doesn't scream. It doesn't fight. it just slowly erode the foundation of your marriage. And that, my friend, brings me to something important. Before I continue, I want to speak directly to you. If you're listening and this is hitting you, you're thinking, this is us. We are emotionally disconnected. We are together, but not connected. We don't talk deeply anymore. We have lost something and I want it back. Then this is your moment. I want you to click the link in the description and book a free consultation to learn more about our marriage makeover coaching program where we teach the grace framework. Joan and I, my wife and I, we build emotional, relational, and intimately connect you to the areas of your life that you feel disconnected with. It's clarity, with support, with biblical strategy. Listen, my friend, this is an opportunity to stop drifting and start building. And so click the link and book a call with us so that you can learn more. Let's continue the conversation. To rebuild connection, you must understand the three levels of intimacy God designed for marriage. Level number one, emotional intimacy. Level number two, relational intimacy. Level number three, physical intimacy. But here's the reality. Most couples try to fix level three without fixing level one and two. That's awkward. It's backward. And that's why nothing changed. And let me break these three levels down to you. Level number one, emotional intimacy. This is the foundation because you see, emotional intimacy is how you deeply understand each other. It's how you express your feelings safely. It's how you show up with your honesty. It's how honest you are about your fears, your dreams, your worries, and your desires. And emotional intimacy answers the question, do you really know my heart? Wow. And here's what emotional intimacy looks like. You can share your struggles without fear or judgment. You can express your needs without feeling selfish. You can be vulnerable and you feel protected without feeling weak. You can say, I am hurting, and know that your spouse will listen, not fix, not dismiss, but truly listen. You know, Joan and I had to build this. I was always the one who wanted to talk. Never listening to my wife, always think that I could read her mind without first hearing what she had to say. And she had to remind me, if you don't listen to me, you don't really know me. If you don't get to study me, you don't really understand who I am. And there was a season where I was emotionally shut down. And she was emotionally shut down too. Both of us were emotionally disconnected. I thought being strong meant not showing emotion, like most men. I thought providing meant that I didn't need to share my struggles. I was wrong because there are men that are good providers, good fathers, but they're lousy husbands. And a lot of it goes for the wife too. But that create distance. And Joan felt locked out of my heart. Like I didn't open up a room for her to feel safe and vulnerable in. And you see, my friend, when she tried to share her heart with me, I tried to fix everything instead of just listening. And I remember my wife used to say, listen, just listen to me. Stop trying to fix everything. Just listen to what I have to say. And we had to learn that emotional intimacy isn't about fixing, it's about feeling together. It's about leaning in. You see, vulnerability comes from the Latin word vulnus. It means wound, which means that when a person is vulnerable, they can be in a space where they can get hurt. But are you safe enough to protect that vulnerability? Level number two, relational intimacy. This is the friendship of the marriage. Relational intimacy is about enjoying each other. Do you spend quality time together? Do you laugh together? Do you dream together? Do you fight as a team or do you fight against each other? Because relational intimacy answers the question, do we actually like each other? Because, listen, here's the thing. You can love someone and not like them. Ooh, that hurts. You can be committed and not be connected. You can be married, and you're not friends. Joan is not just my wife, she's my best friend. But that didn't happen by accident. We had to intentionally build friendship into our marriage. We had to schedule time together. Even now, we do. There are moments when we just don't pick up the phone. We sit down and we talk. We just gleam into each other's eyes and we ask questions. How was your day? What was work today? We just spend quality time together. We had to learn each other's interests. We had to laugh. We laugh. We learn how to cry together. Listen, moments when we just had to take off all that facades, man, and take off all that cape and take off all that big girl attitude and big boy, mindset, and just be you. And when we did, everything changed. I begin to see my wife just be herself. I find that it's very easy to communicate when you really create space where people feel comfortable and feel respected in the conversation. Level number 3, physical intimacy. This is what most people focus on, but it's the fruit, not the root. Did you get that? Physical sexual intimacy is the fruit, it is not the root. Physical intimacy is important. God designed it for marriage. Oh, yes. It's beautiful, it is sacred, and it is necessary. If you're not lighting up the bedroom, something is wrong. If you're not having cataclysmic, orgasmic explosions, something is wrong. You gotta fix that. But I'm getting stuttered by just saying that. But here's the reality. But here's the truth. When emotional and relational intimacy are broken, physical intimacy becomes forced. It becomes mechanical, or it's non existent. Physical intimacy answers the question: do you feel connected? Do you feel safe? Do you feel desired? And if the answer is no emotionally and relationally, the answer will be no physically. That's why you can't skip level 1 and level 2. You need to rebuild from the inside out: emotional, relational, and then physical. You see, my friend, when you do, physical intimacy becomes natural, meaningful, and deeply satisfying and desirable. Now, let me show you exactly how to build it, right? There's 5 disconnect pattern that you need to focus on, need to understand rather, right? Here are 5 emotional disconnect pattern that is slowly destroying intimacy. Number 1, surface level conversation. You talk about the bills, you talk about the kids, you talk about work, but you never talk about each other. No, you discuss logics, but never discuss your hearts, your posture, your mindset. Listen, man, connection dies in shallow conversation. You got to go deep sea diving. And that's what we teach in our coaching program, right? Number 2, busy but disconnected lives. 2 full schedules, no shared moments. You're busy, they busy, we busy, all busy. That doesn't work. You're always doing life, but you're never sharing your life together. Busyness is enemy to intimacy. You can be productive and still be disconnected. Did you know that? Number 3, emotional avoidance. My friend, you avoid everything. You're burying your feelings. You're pretending things are real. You're pretending things are not a big deal. You're just all over the place. The silent treatment. That's not going to work. What you don't know about a thing becomes a wall between you and your spouse. You got to be emotionally available. You got to be present, man. Number 4, no shared rituals. No date nights, no check-ins, no shared time, no intentional bonding. Marriage is built on routine intimacy. Marriage is built on being intentional. If you don't schedule connection, it won't happen. Number 5, turning towards others instead of each other. Ooh, your friends, parents, coworker, social media. Oh my God, that's the new marriage killer. This, my friend, is the new marriage killer. You share your day with your coworker. You share your day or your struggles with your friend. Oh my God. You share your thoughts on social media, but your spouse gets the leftover. That, my friend, is problem. That's how marriage crumble. And in closing, when communication soften, when argument soften, when communication becomes easier, when arguments become less, laughter return, affection increase, trust rebuild, and sex becomes meaningful, love becomes deeper. Because emotional connection is not optional, it's essential. It's the heartbeat of the marriage. And when the heart is healthy, the whole marriage is healthy. Oh, yes, Joan and I have been married for 31 years, and we have built a healthy marriage over 28 years of our 31 years of marriage. Everything that I'm teaching right now is what we've been working on since the third year of our marriage. And I can tell you that the season that we're in right now, it is absolutely beautiful, and you can too. And that's what I want to share with you in this video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. And if this video adds some value to you, then do us a favor and hit that like button. Please subscribe. Please share with a couple who might need this information. Thank you again. May God bless you. And always remember that your marriage needs grace. Be blessed. Ain't it great?